Here's Jack. Here's Jack. Here's Jack. Here's Jack. Here's Jack.
Here's Jack. Here's Jack. Hello.
Already off to a better start than last night when you.
I think so.
When you had the microphone f ups.
No. That's
that
had to be something.
Problem.
That had to be something you did. No, I am.
Yes.
I am licensed.
Sure it was. I'm sure
to
you
run
think
all
you
of
are.
this equipment. I'll have you know, because I found a receipt and someone had a cheeseburger and mushroom and Swiss burger without me.
Pickles.
Yeah.
Does that mean like fried and extra?
Extra shroomy.
Extra shroom.
Oh yeah.
Who orders a mushroom and Swiss burger and gets extra shroom?
I think that's my ex-wife, actually.
Oh my god! What's the date on that?
I will turn this into my attorney. Of course.
What's the date?
Let's see. Let's find out.
Order time.
Let's see. How's that there?
10/4/23.
2 days before my birthday.
Well, what do you have received from last week?
It was on my kitchen table near my radio area.
She's in your house?
It kind of sounds like a Hitchcock movie, doesn't it?
It sounds like Fatal Attraction.
Well, if she
leaves instead of leaving a dead rabbit, she leaves. Where's that? What is the fine dining establishment?
I have to think this is probably.
It always says on there. Come on.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
You guys don't have a Hardee's, do you? Drive through. Sarah D. Table 137.
Well, that might be like the order number 2. That's
right.
kind of how that.
Yeah.
Don't say, man.
That is funky.
I suspect it's Hefner's because Hefner's uses pretty, and I know she was quite partial
extra mushrooms
to the extra shroomy mushroom Swiss. Oh. But I'm telling you, she's going to get in here and boil a bunny. Once they boil the bunny, you're screwed.
At least, as long as she doesn't bring black olives, I'm good.
Last night, didn't we?
Well, today it is a fluid exercise in shows.
Yes,
because
right. Yeah,
you're useless.
Okay.
AJ is a no-show. He's on his way home. He's not going to.
Oh my God! Wow, what a quirky night this is going to be.
Quirky. Lisa Curtis, who is our pinch hitter,
declined.
Is on her way to Las Vegas.
She's going to Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got to get her on next week on Tuesday. We can't miss that.
She'll still be on. She'll still be on.
Oh, I know. Yeah, she may be back by then, though. I wanted to beam in from Vegas, baby.
Yeah, but she's on her way now. It's no fun. She's on her way to the airport. It wasn't even like a thing.
Is this for fun or like a conference of journalists or something? How could they have those conferences in Vegas where it's very serious,
where it's all work and no play?
You just dial in there. They let you out for a half hour for family style chicken and mashed potatoes,
or a mushroom and Swiss burger with extra mushrooms.
Extra shroomy.
They used to say, they said at one time Vegas was a cheap place to eat. The $2 steak buffets and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
I've never been.
Really?
I would like to go. I think it'd be my kind of place. Although I think the Vegas that I want doesn't exist anymore. I fear.
Well, there's enough of that.
Is there? Good.
You can find it. Yeah.
Okay.
The biggest thing I was there 2 or 3 times with Patty for
that would be a party.
Diamond show stuff.
Nice.
And the thing that struck me, I thought like the Vegas Strip, you could just go, hey, I'm just going to walk down the Strip. I mean, the Strip is...
How quickly Jack joins the Rat Pack. We're talking about no, I'm Joey Bishop.
That's right. I'd rather be... who do I think of? Who do I love? Who's the Jackie Mason?
God. It could be Jackie Mason, a rabbi from Sheboygan.
That's it. I love that guy.
You got the worst. You got to get the what first to get the worst. The worst for you, and the worst for you, and the worst for you.
Didn't he wear a lot of plaid jackets?
Oh, sure, yeah. Absolutely.
I love the. Was Don Rickles Jewish?
Okay. Does the Pope wear a yarmulke?
It wasn't.
Rickles, very Jewish.
Rickles isn't a very Jewish name.
Well, that's a stage name. That's not.
Really?
I don't think he was born a Rickles. Hang on. He's probably,
no, you don't think he was born? That's what might be one of your best lines of the year. Of course, it's already 10 months in. You finally came up with a good one. I don't think he was. I don't think he was born a Rickles.
I mean, who is really?
And then it turns out he is.
Yes. Rickles was born in Queens, New York, May 8th, 1926. He was Jewish. His father, Max Rickles. And his mother was Etta Rickles.
Etta Rickles?
Prior to a Rickles, she was a Feldman. And she was born in Jackson Heights. So, yeah.
His nickname was Butter Rickles.
He did some time on motor torpedo. He was a motor torpedo boat tender, the USS Cyrene, as a seaman first class.
He was in some Navy show, wasn't he?
What is that? CPO Sharky.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a fun show. It
Yeah,
didn't last very long.
CPO Sharky.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Well, there you go.
Oh, where's the agent?
Caller 1, go ahead. You're on the air. Yeah.
Hello.
Back?
Yeah.
It's the agent and agent.
Oh, good.
Okay.
We were just talking Don Rickles. Do you think Rickles was Don Rickles' real last name?
No. Hell no.
Oh, a hell no on AJ. I cussed.
Well, Rickles would say that too. Yeah, hockey puck.
It turns out he is a Rickles.
He's a Rickles.
No.
His dad was Max Rickles.
And his mother was Etta.
Etta Rickles.
That's what she said.
Why be a better Rickles when you can be an Etta Rickles?
That's beautiful.
Where are you guys tonight in this beautiful evening?
We are on Highway 57 heading north on our way home. We just passed what would be the Belgium turn if I was turning off to go to
okay.
My neighborhood.
So yeah, I picked up AJ tonight because with all the rain, I was like, I'm not driving down for work tomorrow. I'm going to stay home.
All right, you two, this is perfect. For once, you guys have good timing. I have tickets to the Badgers game on Saturday. If you had tickets, would you go?
To the Badger game on Saturday in the rain.
It's raining now, and it's not going to stop until Sunday. Biblical proportions.
40 degrees sideways rain going right up your nostrils.
Well, we could use some biblical rain up in the lake because we need to fill the pot.
Well, you're going to get it. It's going to be overflowing by the time this sucker's over with.
Well, that's good. So, would I go?
Yeah.
AJ, would you go? I think I'd go. Oh, good for you. No, electrically I don't go.
Well, my personality is electric. I don't know if I can go. I can't risk
like the Green Mile. You got to turn your chair into old Sparky there, pal. Be careful.
No way. I played golf last week and in an outing that was 50 and windy, and my joints were hurting for 3 days.
My aches, my pains.
That's what you should smoke those joints so they don't hurt you.
Well, that's the point. That would loosen me up a lot more than it is.
That's what's great about the agent. The agent. He plays a great green golf game.
Oh.
Exactly. I need a cortisone shot. That's my next thing. A cortisone.
How do they make that? Is that with Irish cream and cream and mint?
Yes, exactly.
Jake well.
That's my daily cortisone.
That's breakfast. How's lunch?
So we've been talking about the baseball playoffs, of course. AJ thinks they're not going to change the rules on them.
They're not going to change it again.
Even with the outrage of all the number one seeds going down.
Well, it's the Dodgers' fault. They spent money.
The Braves and Phillies just started. It's 0-0 top of one. What if the Braves go down and all the number one seeds are out?
That's up. Wear a helmet.
Oh, tough it up.
I know. How does it work that way? I mean, is it just how long is it? I don't know the history of. Is this the second year of it or no?
First.
Oh, this is the first year of the three.
Yeah.
You know what? They'll get used to it. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. I mean, you have 3 days rest. You should be able to rest your best pitchers. They're not out of cycle, right? If they're running. Right.
The biggest, I think, what I've heard is the biggest complaint is the hitters. Their timing is off. They have this weird. They played with little rest. This is longer than the All-Star break rest at midseason. So from April until now, they haven't had that rest, and all of a sudden you give them this 5-day layoff or whatever it is, and the timing's off, and they can't catch up. And the other team's been playing, and they're in their regular rhythm.
So what's your prediction, Jack?
I don't think they'll change it this year. I do think the only reason I even think they might consider it is because of the success they had with shortening the game this year and the new rules that they put in. I never thought I'd see baseball change rules like that radically. So there's hope. I think they tried radically with this. I don't think they're going to change it. I think some of it is it's just sour grapes from the teams that lose too. I mean, you got it. That's a factor as well.
Yeah, I think most of the stuff is that.
It helps that I don't like the Dodgers. I wish the Orioles would have won. I would have liked to have seen them. That's the only team that I really wanted to see. I never saw them play all year, and I would have liked to seen them play, but they got waxed. They didn't have the pitching.
Yeah, they definitely got what they got. The veteran leadership is slowing up, but you can't say that because Arizona is mostly rookies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, change takes time. I had a boss once tell me, anytime there's change, things will get worse before they get better. And I got to believe that they'll figure out how to adjust, and the teams will figure out how to adjust.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. Whether they tell them they can, play scrimmage games in between or simulate it, or I don't know, it's changed. So maybe not a surprise that it happened, but how do you adjust your days off in order to make it work?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. I'm rooting for the Braves. No, I don't have any particular interest. I'm just not a Phillies fan, but that's me. I was glad to see it. I was not sad to see the Dodgers go out at all. I like to see them go down. So I guess it's just a personal preference too. All right, enough baseball.
Wait, I agree with you because the only people that like Philadelphia are the people that live in Philadelphia.
Yes. The only thing I like about Philadelphia is the story I heard last year when Houston went there during the World Series and they tried to order pizza from that famous place and they wouldn't. the pizza place said, "No way, we're Phillies fans. We're not giving you any pizza." Now that I liked and respected.
We don't serve your kind here.
That's right. And I hope Houston doesn't win. I don't want Houston to win. I still can't get over the cheating stuff. So,
Nor should we, really.
yeah. All right.
No, I think I'm looking for Diamondbacks. I think it's going to be Diamondbacks, but I think Diamondbacks going to win.
Diamondbacks, and who else? Who's coming from the American League?
The Rangers.
Diamondbacks, Rangers. Okay, I could live with that.
I could live with that series. That'd be probably fun.
Yeah. The worst part of the Rangers winning for me was seeing Max Scherzer get in without doing anything. But that's life. I can get over that. I can live with that. Okay, college football. What games you looking at this weekend? What intrigues you? What should be fun?
So we got SC Notre Dame this weekend.
Okay.
We got, let me think. We got Alabama with Arkansas this weekend. I'm interested in the Alabama game just to see how they come out against inferior opponent. Last weekend against Texas A&M, they just barely squeaked by. So I'm interested to see if they can go on and play better ball. But SC Notre Dame this weekend, that's the big one.
And
I think
it's one of the big ones. You like Notre Dame in that, right?
Yes, I do.
What about you, Doug?
I'm an anti-Domer, but the only team I'll cheer for Notre Dame when they play USC, the University of Spoiled Children, also. So I'm going Notre Dame.
I liked it. I like that. I'm rooting for. I would root for SC over. I'm Irish, but I don't like Notre Dame.
I'm also going UW over Oregon. Still like that deck.
That's the game that interests me more than the other ones.
Yeah, Penix and Nix will be a really good matchup. I'm very excited.
Do you know where that is, AJ?
They've been UW.
All right. Good.
And keep an eye on this too. It's an early kick. It's a 2:30 kick.
2:30 our time?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope I'm somewhere dry watching that instead of sitting out watching the Badgers in the stadium.
I'd just sit at the Broad House. I wouldn't leave. Just
you and 50,000 other people have that plan that kind of throws a little wrench into it.
It's possible.
Yeah. And then I'll take Bucky by 6.
Bucky by 6. Over 6?
Yeah.
Over Iowa? You don't think they're going to win by more than 6?
Iowa's 5-1.
What?
Iowa's 5-1.
I don't care. 6.
I would be surprised if Deacon Hill, who's a transfer from Wisconsin,
Yeah.
is the starter for Iowa.
Okay.
I would be surprised if they manage the game, try to run the ball a lot, and especially with the weather coming, try to run the ball a lot, a low scoring game. I'm probably thinking somewhere between 21-14 and 14-10.
Oh, my God. If I go to the game and that's the score, AJ, I'm going to be so mad at you. God.
AJ, I'm going to call out 10-6.
No.
Just a big off.
Wow, that'll be a nail biter.
Oh, my God. You Bokinis, you're going straight to you-know-where, wishing that on me. Okay. Well, we'll see. It's going to be 38-31 Badgers.
I'll take that, too. I'll take a win.
If-
They got this game, then they got Illinois, and then they got the big one.
Don't look ahead. They got to win one at a time.
So,
All right. So, AJ, your game to watch that you think is Notre Dame SC, right, this weekend? And I'm going Washington, Oregon. I'm going Washington. All right. What about on Sunday? The Packers don't play this weekend, thankfully.
Nope.
Any pro games stick out to you this week?
I'm interested to see if Detroit keep people rolling. They're really rolling right now, and I like what Dan Campbell's done, despite beating the Packers. I like what he's done with his team, and I'm interested to see if they can keep rolling.
Who do they play, Age?
They play. Let's see. Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Okay, that'll be a test for him.
It's at 325 as well. It's a late kid. So that's Tampa. Oh.
That could be good. What did you guys think of the Sunday night stinker this past week?
Thank you. Is that the Niner game?
Yep.
Oh, I was happy as hell. I was happy, but that was I was so happy.
I was happy about everything. I like Mike McCarthy. I don't wish him ill.
I don't wish Mike McCarthy ill either, and I think he will be ill after this year.
Yeah.
But I just can't go. I can't go for the Cowboys. I told Lisa, I said the only thing that would have made me happier was the Packers beating down the Cowboys worse than that.
Right.
So,
right.
I thought we'd peek in on the big Amazon game tonight on Prime. Broncos versus Chiefs.
Bulldog just put that up on the screen, and it's 0-0 in the first quarter. Looks Broncos have the ball.
Yeah.
Do you think Russell Wilson is done?
He's cooked. I called Russell Wilson done before he got traded to Denver. I said it. I'll stand by it. I thought he was done in his last year in Seattle, and I was like,
yeah, Doug, but you called this show done last year. We're still here, man.
Well, it should have been done.
Oh, yeah.
We all have to get Russell Wilson jerseys then.
The only Seattle jersey I have, I won in a contest.
The thing with Russell Wilson, even as a Badgers alum and fan, he just never. He was good for the Badgers. He did good by the Badgers in his year here, and the Badgers did good by him, getting him some good games and got him some notoriety that he wouldn't have had otherwise, even though it was at NC State. But he's a tough guy to have grow on you. I don't know why.
And I don't understand what it is about him. I didn't realize until time went on what a goofy guy he was.
Yeah. He's a goofy millionaire. I could stand it. like you Bokini boys.
Yeah. No, we're goofy without being millionaires. You can stand it because we're in transit right now.
Yeah. I thought you were in Belgium.
No, so we're in transit. That's why.
Indeed.
Thank you, AJ. Where's the boss? Is she busy?
She doesn't know that I'm on my way home.
Oh.
We know no, she's praying for all you sinners tonight.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, well, I mean, I could feel it.
Thank you.
She's at Bible study tonight, so she's praying for all of us.
What does she have to? She knows it. What does she have to study it for?
I don't know.
There'll be a quiz at the end, of course.
At the end times.
Yes. That's what I meant. That's right. Let's talk about that time on the Jack Henke show.
Yeah. All
So
right.
There we are. Cool.
We're just lucky we're not being struck by lightning right now.
There's a bolt right behind your car. It's chasing you down. Pedal to the metal, pal.
Your characters on the line. There's no way that the good Lord is not looking down and saying, strike them.
Eastbound and down.
Smoke them. That's right. Okay, our wireless reach is too far.
Makes it sound like the Lord is played by Jackie Gleason. We gotta get them some bitch.
So far tonight we've mentioned Don Rickles, Jackie Mason,
Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason. Who's the other one you got?
I don't know.
And I want you guys, Doug, I think you should be, if you have any black in your car, you should be wearing it because on October 12th, 1997, so however many years ago that is from today, John Denver took off on a solo flight in a kit-made plane he had just purchased. Legally, he shouldn't even have been flying. His license had been revoked by the FAA due to his repeated problems with drunk driving citations. The plane crashed into Monterey Bay. So it was how many years ago? 1997. That's almost
Yeah,
20-something. Yeah. So anyway.
Fantastic. We need more of that. Wow.
Who's that?
Jamie and Lillard and Giannis are scheduled to play in their first preseason game on Sunday.
No.
All right.
They're not too excited about this age.
Well, it makes me think: is the NBA like the NFL about not playing the guys in preseason so they don't get hurt, or doesn't affect the NBA?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, they'll play them for 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, load management. I got load management. It's I tell you. All right, my daughter just came in out of the rain.
Excellent. All right, gentlemen. Well, you get driving and stay safe out there in the wilds of I-43.
No, 57.
Oh, that's right, 57. You're taking an alternate route.
Oh, no, we go up 57 to get to our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Plymouth, straight up the gut.
Plymouth, yeah.
All right.
So, well, thanks for having us.
Well,
I appreciate it.
all right. We appreciate you. We appreciate the effort.
Likewise.
In the rain, soggy bokinis are better than no bokinis.
Exactly.
All right. See you, boys. Have a great weekend.
Sure you wipe your feet before you go in the house, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Before the boss gets home from Bible study.
Did you hear that? Did you hear it? He's telling you to wipe your feet.
Wipe your damn feet.
All right. See ya.
Hey,
Adios.
guys. Good to see ya.
Never trust a guy in a wheelchair with dirty shoes. That's why
I like that.
That's the wisest thing I've heard all week.
when you have a son in a wheelchair, you can get away with that.
That's right.
I'd have human resources help me in there.
No. You're safe on this show.
Oh, we missed you.
ADA, American Disability Act is going to be calling me or whoever.
We have a very powerful team of lawyers.
All right. Take care of you guys.
All right, AJ and Doug Bocchini, the agent, along for the ride tonight. Actually, piloting the ship, navigating. He's Sulu tonight.
He was driving it tonight.
Yeah, he was driving, and never trust a guy in a wheelchair with dirty feet.
That's a line of the week.
Pretty damn good. Can't argue with that one. All right, we should cover our bases with our nonprofit friends. We didn't do that at the top of the show, so let's do that before we move into our final segment of the evening.
Mr. Bob's looking for jeans, for men's jeans. You know, everything is needed. Shoes, jeans, shirts, different sizes, men's and women's. The need is there. If you can give tomorrow night, no, it's tonight. It's Thursday.
Tonight, yeah, already went down.
The next drop off is Monday. From 4 to 6. If you can do that, great. On Sunday, there's still time. You can register and get in. And Bulldog Lane is going to be done by Sunday.
So actually, I'm feeling better about this. I still think I'm going to get creamed by a minivan or something, but I'm,
that's fine.
Feeling better.
Bulldog and I are volunteering. Margot's going to run and walk in it. So
if a car comes barreling towards me, I might run and walk too.
we will be there in force on Sunday.
Indeed.
And go to MrBobsUnderTheBridge.com. You can .org, not .com,
yeah.
And you'll find out how to register. Also, if you go to Mr. Bob's on either Facebook or on Instagram,
I suppose I should ride in with you because I'll get there twice as early.
QR codes that you can use to get in there.
Yes, it's on their website.
All right. So, Mr. Bob's, please help if you can. If you can find it in your closet, you can find it in your heart to share. Okay, Java House. Achtung, Tober. A fresh batch of fall-flavored coffee beans are roasted and ready to brew. Pumpkin spice, hazelnut, maple vanilla, Highland groggy, spooky spice, which is hazelnut and cinnamon, death by chocolate, and blueberry maple pancakes. We got Margot and Will have been fighting about a blueberry maple.
No, it's blueberry waffle.
Blueberry waffle candle, and
Candle.
Thing.
The
Can't eat that.
The debate is whether it smells. It doesn't smell as nice as Little Miss Sunshine over
Oh,
there.
my brother recommends it.
Wow.
Okay, the love is getting spread all over the house.
All over the house. Like
Even more than blueberry waffle candle spell. All right. So Java House, they got all kinds of good stuff going on, and
Hey.
Italian beans back in the house, which is wonderful.
there you go.
Stuff going on. Other than that, do you know? Just shy of 50 years ago, Saturday Night Live made its debut on NBC in 1975. This
Wow.
week.
Yeah, there you go.
Simply called NBC Saturday Night. Upon its premiere, the core of long-running comedy sketch show was quite intact from the outset. Celebrity guests, the sketches, and of course, the fact that it's all performed live. Do you know who was the host of the first show?
Probably George Carlin.
Yes. George Carlin, who at the outset was part of a rotating set of guest
Yeah.
hosts.
Richard Klein, Richard Pryor. No?
No, Richard Pryor.
I thought Richard Klein was part of that bunch, but maybe not.
He's not. Well,
Robert Klein, excuse me.
It might be. Yeah, Robert Klein. Lily Tomlin.
Oh, very nice. There is the first time Richard Pryor was on, there was a very tense, nerve-wracking sketch between him and Chevy Chase where he's at a job, like a job placement office.
Yes.
Oh, my God. And it's so funny because there's a lot of nervous laughter because they dust off all of the things you really can't say on television.
Yeah, that's when Chevy was funny before he got to be old.
Yeah, a lot of drugs. He just turned 80. They showed a picture of him blowing his 80th birthday candle out. He seems, I think his head is detached from his body right now. He seemed a little it's just so much cocaine. So much cocaine.
Chevy?
Yeah, well, not now. Well, maybe still now. I don't know.
He's gained about 400 pounds. I think.
Well, I mean, it's you get older and that kind of thing happens. But
no, not like that.
I fear his. Again, I just think his brain has detached from its stem. That's about it. So,
developed to replace the reruns of Johnny Carson's Tonight Show.
Oh, they showed rerun. I didn't know that on Saturday nights. Okay.
Oh, so you didn't know, Mr. Noah.
Well, that was fine.
The cast consisted of.
What's that?
Who was the cast?
Oh, first cast? Oh, boy. So Chevy Chase, Belushi, and Aykroyd, and Garrett Morris, and Lorraine Newman, and Gilda Radner, and that's probably about it. I'm missing one.
Jane Curtin.
Jane Curtin, yeah, definitely.
And one I haven't heard of, you probably know, George Coe.
No, I don't know him very well. I've seen him in a movie. I've seen, I know he's been in some.
Coe is C-O-E.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Also, 60 years ago yesterday, since we didn't get to this yesterday, in 1963, an up-and-coming actor by the name of William Shatner starred in one of the most iconic episodes in Twilight Zone history.
Sure.
But do you know what it was?
Nightmare at 20,000 feet.
Exactly, right. I knew you would. Mr. Wilson, a husband and father who recently recovered from a mental breakdown. The episode tells the story of the only man who sees a gremlin.
On the wing of this plane! John Lithgow did. They made a remake of that with the Twilight Zone movie in 1982.
Really?
And Lithgow played the role, and actually, it's better. It's an improvement. It's outstanding. It's really good.
I bet he's phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
All right, Animal House.
Yeah.
I don't know what year this was.
Animal House was 78, I believe.
Okay, 78. The movie had just returned. This is interesting to number one after being briefly knocked out for a week by
78. Oh boy.
Foul
play.
You will laugh. Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
Hey, there you go. Wow, I didn't know that made it to number one. I know it had a big midnight run.
So Animal House was up there. Cheech and Chong knocks it out. Animal House comes back.
Boy, the class, the people with a lot of class in our society must have been. Have you seen what's happened to the movies? First Animal House, then Up in Smoke, then back to Animal House again.
It led the box office for a total of 8 weeks between the two runs and left us with such cultural gems as Jenny Yoga's. All right. Yesterday, birthdays of honor. No, today. Birthdays of honor. Hugh Jackman, 1968. I don't know this name. You tell me. Josh Hutcherson?
Josh Hutchinson. Yeah, he's like a teen. Younger Hutchinson. Yeah, he was a younger
92.
Yeah. He did a lot of kind of Disney Channel type stuff, and I think he's become an actual like real actor now.
Okay. And too bad we didn't have the bikinis on. Luciano Pavarotti.
Oh,
1935.
very good. He's in a really bad movie called Yes, Giorgio.
We,
Yeah, the Siskel and Ebert name. They used to have something called the Dog of the Week, and they bring a dog named Sparky on their couch. And Yes, Giorgio was the Dog of the Week.
Oh, I remember how bad that was supposed to be. So we talked about John Denver.
Yeah.
Today, a little farther back, 1692. Things got considerably less interesting in Massachusetts when the Salem witch trials came to an end formally. When Governor William Phipps writing a letter to put an end to imprisonments for witchcraft.
You want to do a really bad taste sketch? You should do a court TV version of the Salem witch trial.
The worst ever, the worst ever, is they would dunk them, and if they died, okay, they might not have been a witch. If they didn't die, they bring them up, then you are a witch because you didn't die.
Right. Yeah, there's no, Monty Python covers that in the Holy Grail very nicely. They say, how can we tell if she's a witch? And they're like, well, we should throw her in the water because if she floats, and what floats? Ducks. Are women? They're trying to connect the dots. Like, do ducks float? Yes. What does wood float? No. And then they say, so what's our excuse? Witches are made of wood. It's all that. Witches and ducks.
Was Holy Grail or was it Life of Brian with the Jehovah?
That would be Life of Brian.
All right, that's my favorite.
Well, yeah, me too. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. All
right, and I saw this movie when it came out. It was terrible. Terribly good.
Yeah, I probably love it then. If you
I loved it, but it was so depressing.
Oh, then I love it.
One of the wildest and most watched stories in music history happened today. Well, this is the actual story, but there's a movie about it. Happened today in 1978 when Sid Vicious, bassist of the Sex Pistols, was arrested for the murder of his girlfriend, Nancy Spungen. Did you ever see Sid and Nancy?
Yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah, it's a guy, Alex Cox directed that movie. I was just watching his movie before that called Repo Man with Emilio Estevez. That's a great movie.
Oh, I've never seen it. It's supposed to be really good.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I love it.
But, that was so depressing.
It's not a happy film. You want to see the most depressing interview. They talked to him like it was before, because he offed himself.
The night before, the couple had hosted a party, and it said that Sid took as many as 30 pills of Tuinal, a type of barbiturate. When a hotel staff found Nancy's body, Sid was wandering the halls in a daze. His story kept changing, at first saying he stabbed her but didn't mean to kill her, then claiming he remembered nothing. Before he could be tried, Sid Vicious died of a heroin overdose in New York in early 1979.
Do you know that he was a bass player for the Sex Pistols, allegedly. But he didn't know a damn thing about guitar. He just didn't. Eventually, I guess he started to get somewhere, but he knew nothing about guitars or music. He just said, here's your bass. You're the bass player now. And it kind of worked.
Sid?
What's that?
Sid?
Yeah, Sid. Yeah, he didn't. He had no musical inspiration or education.
I've seen film clips of him. Not performing. It ain't pretty. All right. Just got a text. Lisa Curtis, on the plane, I need another drink. 3 exclamation points.
She can finish my beer. Well, all right. Have a fine time. Hope she's watching us on the plane.
I have a beer, and I am having a beast hard tonic.
There you go.
So there. All right. Just sent that. Should be up there.
Very good.
All right. Also, today in 1971, Jesus Christ Superstar made its debut on Broadway.
Ah, yes. One of the ways to bring rock music to the New Testament. So there we go.
Yeah.
Hey, I talked to a buddy of mine who went to an advanced screening of Killers of the Flower Moon. Speaking of Jesus,
Ooh,
and he was like, "Holy shit!"
Did I tell you? I don't know if I told you. I read a recent interview of Scorsese.
I've read a lot lately too myself. Yes,
I think it was an Esquire.
I think I read that one. Yes.
He's 80. I don't care. I don't care. I
Yeah,
don't know.
3.5 hours, but they said that it went by very fast, and he's like, "Whoa, this is a powerful film." So,
Yeah, the story is nasty.
yeah, well, it's not one of the more glowing moments in American
All right,
history.
well,
so-
okay. So what's the Killers of a Flower Moon?
yes,
right?
hmm
On one hand, Sid and Nancy. Which one's going to be more depressing?
more depressing. I think Sid and Nancy. Actually, I think that Killers of the Flower Moon might. Scorsese's cool because as much as the point, the undercurrent and subtext of his movies are very sad. They're so cinematically like explosive that they're just exhilarating. Like, if you think about Goodfellas, it's depressing as hell. But I mean, have you ever had more fun being depressed? I don't think so.
Hardly. I haven't seen enough of his stuff. I really want to.
I've done them all.
I really want to see Mean Streets.
Mean Streets is great. Raging Bull is fantastic.
I saw that.
The King of Comedy is a masterpiece that was kind of underrated at the time, and now it's much more respected. The King of Comedy is my favorite movie of his.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
Who's in it?
De Niro. He plays a stand-up comic who's not very good, named Rupert Pupkin. And Rupert is going to basically his scheme to get on the Jerry Langford show, which is a lot like the Johnny Carson show, as played by Jerry Lewis in a dramatic role in this movie. And he's, by the way, incredible. So his goal is to basically kidnap him, hold him hostage, so he can get a stand-up shot on his show. It speaks volumes about our media obsessed culture. Speaks volumes about fame. It's amazing. It's a great film. Yeah. Jerry, it's funny because many people who knew Jerry Lewis said, if you really wanted to know what the real Jerry Lewis was like, watch The King of Comedy. He's like, that was Jerry, who pretended to love his fans and hated them all.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Do you like anybody?
Jerry, he young women. he liked cocktail waitresses, 2 at a time. I hear.
Well, it sounds like
What, Fredo?
Fredo.
Yes. Well, when in doubt, you just gotta do something like this.
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Green.
You guys are off.
He was bagging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time.
Who's the actor who played Mo Green?
That would be Alex Rocco, who's a great actor, actually. Good character actor.
And
He's in Get Shorty. He plays one of the mobsters in Get Shorty. It's always a mobster.
Get Shorty was a great book.
I love that movie. No, it's a brilliant movie. Dennis Farina's Finest Hour.
Really?
Oh, I love Dennis.
He was good in Midnight Run.
Yeah, he's very good in that too. Yeah, he played.
And Midnight Run and Midnight Express don't make the wrong. It's easy to make
don't grab the wrong one at the video head Blockbuster.
You're just being think of. We said Dennis Fredo. Oh, who played Fredo?
That was a guy named John Cazale.
Yeah, John Cazale
passed away very young. Yeah, I think he died of he was AIDS. I think.
So cancer.
Or was it cancer? Yeah, it was cancer. That's right. Yeah.
So revered.
Yeah.
By other actors. Just
very few roles. He Dog Day Afternoon, the Godfather movies, and that was the Deer Hunter. That was about it.
And what's her name? He was with what's her name?
Meryl
Streep.
That's right. Yeah. Right. Yep.
But so revered by other actors.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty intense. So there we go. Hey, speaking of revered and reverence, we should stop being so irreverent. Let's bring in some royalty here.
I'm not an irreverent. I'm just a reverend. Reverend Dad.
Yeah,
okay.
We got a big guy, big event here in Cedarburg. Cedarburg Reads, the Friends of the Cedarburg Public Library, put this on yearly, I believe.
And that is on. The event is on the 25th.
Let's not get it wrong now. Yeah, it's coming up.
And it's not at the library, so you can have some fun. It's at
Let's see here.
it's at the Cultural Center.
Cultural Center. Absolutely.
I'm so looking forward to meeting this guy.
Should be fun.
The book I'm getting into big time.
Yeah. No, it's I need to reread it. I read it when it first came out. Was it
Read tonight. It'll take you 15 minutes tops.
Oh,
he wrote an essay.
Okay.
The 40-Year Kiss.
Okay.
Look it up.
I'll do that.
I'm serious.
I'm gonna get on it.
You aren't. You're giving me lip service.
I am. I'm probably gonna watch the rest of the movie I started before.
Before you watch the movie, look up the 40-Year Kiss.
All right.
Now,
I'm putting it in my browser right now. The 40-Year Smooch Kiss. Here we go. All right. There it is, right on top there. Literary Hub.
Yes.
Literary Hub. Okay. All right. It's open in my browser.
I don't care about 10 minutes tops. Read it.
I'm gonna bloody well read it, for heaven's sake.
Read it tonight. It'll stick with you, and then read it again tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right.
It is fabulous. As you know, on a number of levels, I think you will relate to it. But it is fabulous writing.
Yeah, he's good. I'm actually looking forward to it.
This is in such a small. This thing is. It's so good. The book is good, but this thing, at least to me, you know how certain things just reach down inside your throat and shake your fucking gullet. That's what this thing did.
Sounds like I better have some Imodium nearby or something. But okay,
in a good way. You're just like, oh,
cool. All right, no, I'm gonna read the damn thing.
All right, let me know.
You sold me.
Let me know what you think. I don't like to oversell. You know me, I'm a soft sell.
You will sign on the line that is dotted.
You will close yourself. I don't close. You close yourself.
Right.
This is something you cannot live without.
I feel closed. All right, very good.
No.
So let's bring in this fine, it's masterful interview.
Yes,
conducted last week by a bunch of parties, and
if Linda would have stopped interrupting, it would have been perfect.
She was brilliant. Anyway, so the
Sarah, God.
Well, Sarah, yeah, she's
she won't stop talking.
She's a torrential overflow of questions and comments, as you will soon see.
I kept watching her, see if she kept going.
It's just her presence. She kept us in line, I think. Yeah. That's what's great about Sarah. She's like, she'll give you a glare, and you're like,
the best thing was that the author was the one who got out of line, and Linda couldn't say anything about it. It was great.
He was saying all the he was saying all the shit we wanted to say.
Well, if you would have known my grandmother.
Died with a bingo blotter in her head, right. Some Wisconsin death,
That's right.
Anyway, this is a great interview with Nickolson Butler, author of Shotgun Love Songs, the Cedarburg Reads title for 2023. And let's make this happen. And we're going away, and we'll be back. We're not going to be back tomorrow. Programming note.
What?
I'm going to the movies, man.
I know, but we will be back tomorrow because tomorrow morning we are interviewing Dr. Ben.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
And that is playing tomorrow.
Indeed.
On the show, so it's going to be fabulous.
That will be the show. Dr. Ben will be the show, so that's a wonderful thing. What a country. All right, here we go. Nickolson Butler. Or just Nick sometimes, and we'll see you all. We won't see you all tomorrow. You'll see facsimiles of ourselves tomorrow. Bye, all. Here we go. Take it away. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a addendum version of the Jack Henke Show. We're kind of in our old time slot here in the mornings. Normally, you catch us in the evenings in prime time. We made it to prime time. That's right. Anyway, we have this morning. The reason we're doing this is for Cedarburg Reads 2023. Very exciting thing we do here at the library, and we have sort of going around, of course, Jack Henke, and the Bulldog, and then Sarah Kelly, adult librarian here at the library director Linda Pershala down there in one of the cubes, and of course the guest of honor today, Wisconsin-based author Nickolson Butler, and author of Shotgun Love Songs, our title for the year. So ladies and gentlemen, chat amongst yourselves.
All right, I will start it off. So, Nick, we're super excited for you to come to our event on October 25th. We invite the whole community to come to it as well. It'll be at the Cedarburg Cultural Center. So that means we can have a cash bar at the beginning. So we're pretty excited about that. And we'll have music and a reception and announce the winners of our writing contest. So we're really pumped for this, and the community is as well. And I'm just curious, Nick, have you heard about Cedarburg? Are you familiar with our community?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, well, I lived for 10 years in Madison, Wisconsin. So that's not exactly southeastern Wisconsin, but it's close enough to have traveled to Milwaukee and the Milwaukee area a lot, especially in my 20s. And I'm very excited, especially kind of in the wake of everything that happened in COVID. I realized that a big part of my self-esteem and the way that I connect to people happens by doing these sort of events. My job is really, really solitary. So when I get out and I can talk to librarians and booksellers and readers, it really fills me up with the kind of positive energy I need to take into the solitary pursuit of just writing a book for 2 or 3 years. So nobody is more excited about this event than I am.
Yeah. And I noticed you follow up after us with Waukesha Reads. They also, I had no idea they had selected Shotgun Love Songs as well. So I was really surprised to see that. And I thought that was really cool because you got one right after the other.
We're glad you have your priorities straight. You got Cedarburg first.
They copied us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's really humbling to me too, because that book came out in 2014 and it means it's still finding readers, which means a lot to me, because the longer that I'm publishing, the more I realize it is really, really difficult to find any readers at all. There's so many wonderful books that get published every year. And most of the time a book goes out into the world and it's no reflection on the writing or the writer, but it just can't find an audience. It can't find purchase in the world. And so to think that this book, that I had no expectations for when I wrote it, is still finding an audience is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cool. So I got a question. So for all of us English majors everywhere, how hard is it to be a writer from the Midwest?
Well, I think it's hard to be a writer anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, one thing that doesn't necessarily help as a Midwestern writer is you're just so far removed from the large media centers of America. And so that can make, I hate this word, but like the business of networking a lot more difficult. I can't even see my neighbors. We live so far away from each other, let alone like imagine going to a literary soiree or party in New York City, and making like literary connections that way. So I think that's one kind of challenge of being a Midwestern writer. But the kind of gift of being a Midwestern writer is I don't worry about any of the BS of like making, phony connections with people. I just focus on my work. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to worry about whether I'm invited to a cool party or not invited to a cool party, because there's no parties for me. So I just focus on my work, and I focus on my craft. And sometimes I write things that I don't get paid a lot of money for, but I do them because I care about my community or I care about local journalism or whatever it is. And I really like the way that my career is shaked out so far. I hope I can keep going.
Here's the dirty little secret about those cool parties, Nick. They're not terribly cool.
No. I imagine there's a healthy or maybe an unhealthy amount of like sweaty anxiety and desperation, and that doesn't really sound attractive to me.
Oh yeah, great fun all around.
Yeah.
Well, based on going off on that a little bit more, Nick, how can an unknown writer from the Midwest get discovered? You know, and the second part of the question would be self-publishing versus traditional publishing. Is there a recommendation that you have for that?
Okay, well, you asked two very good questions, but different questions. Okay, how does a writer from the Midwest get discovered? Well, I think people sometimes think that there's like a silver bullet or like a magic flip that gets switched. I think they're looking for sort of an easy answer, and there is no easy answer. The answer is you have to be willing to suffer a lot of rejection. You just have to keep going. You have to improve your craft. And the thing that ultimately leads to discovery is good writing. So, I mean, in some ways that's sort of, what's the word? That's sort of freeing, right? I mean, you don't have to focus on any of the other stuff. Just focus on your own work and keep after it and keep trying. And I used to keep an Excel spreadsheet on my computer of every short story and poem that I sent out into the world, when I submitted it, when it was rejected, how it was rejected. And that Excel spreadsheet was 99.5% full of rejections. But then over time, maybe you bring your percentage to like 95% rejection, you know, and that feels pretty good. Actually, you can kind of notice it. Your other question was about self-publishing versus traditional publishing.
Yes, sir.
So when I work with a person who wants to publish a book, I think the most important question that I ask them is, what do you want from this project? Say you are a little bit later in your life. Maybe you're in your late 70s or 80s, and you want to publish your story, an autobiography, or maybe a collection of short stories. Doesn't really matter. You might not have 10 years of rejection to suffer, right?
Yeah.
That's just the reality of our human life cycles. So what I tell people is like, look, if you're in your late 70s, early 80s, and you want to publish a book, it could be that self-publishing is the right thing for you because you just have a smaller timeline. I think for most writers that I work with, I recommend that they shoot for the stars at first and try your best, you know, and exhaust the best options first, and then start working your way down. And there's no shame in that either.
Yeah.
I think the thing that people sometimes don't think about is that just because you have a book finished doesn't mean that you should publish it right away. Mm-hmm. You might want to make sure that it is the very best product that you can do before you send it out into the world, because you can't get it back. If you publish a bad book, publishers are going to look at that, or agents, and be like, this person doesn't have any talent, and why would they help you later on? There's so many talented writers. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. Does that make sense? Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
It's really different. It's different writer to writer, you know, and when I sit down with writers, I really try to ask them, well, where do you want to go? You know, what are your goals? And that kind of informs how we move forward.
How did you start with Shotgun Love Songs? That was your first one. So how did you, how did you get that one published?
Well, I mean, it was depending on how you think about it, it was quite a long process. I mean, I've been writing since I was a teenager for my middle school newspaper and my high school newspaper. And then all through my 20s, I had terrible jobs. I never made any money. I was a meat packer, worked at a liquor store, all kinds of weird jobs like that. When I was...
It was all research, Nick. That was all research.
Yeah.
20s.
Well, kind of. Didn't feel like research when I was waking up at 3:45 to work at the Oscar Mayer plant. But when I was 20, in my late 20s, my wife and I became pregnant with our first child. We were on food stamps, and we were very close to bankruptcy and foreclosure. And I had a conversation with myself about what kind of dad and husband I wanted to be and what I was good at and what I wanted for my future. And the only thing I could think of that I was any good at was writing. So I started taking workshops, improved my craft kind of steadily, applied to grad school 1 year, got rejected. The next year I applied to grad school and got into the Iowa Writers Workshop.
Wow.
And when I was at the Iowa Writers Workshop, I began working on Shotgun Love Songs. I had no expectations for what was going to happen with that book. I can remember when I handed it to my agent the final time before he went out and tried to sell it, I called my best friend from Iowa, a very talented novelist named Marcus Burke, and I said, I don't know what's going to happen. This thing could sell for $500 or it could sell for $500,000. We'll have to see. And the amazing thing is it was much more like the latter. It was a wonderful success story. It sold in like 10, 11 different foreign countries. The movie rights were optioned. But when I was working on it at Iowa, it seemed like kind of a harebrained idea. Like, I guess I'm just going to write about a bunch of people in rural Wisconsin, kind of at an interesting time in their lives where people are getting married or divorced. And, I think I got a little bit lucky. I mean, I worked hard on it. I know that, but some of it's about cosmic timing, I guess.
Yeah. Positioned yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like the independent booksellers really helped propel that.
Absolutely.
We have an author, Leslie Kagan, who lives in Cedarburg, and her books have been on the New York Times bestseller list as well. And she said one of her first books, the way it took off was from the independent booksellers who really reviewed it, promoted it, and really created the trajectory for it.
Yeah.
Is that what you kind of experienced too?
Well, in fairness, I've never made the New York Times bestselling list. I wish I had. I've gotten close at times, but I've never hit it.
Day's not over, Nick.
Day's not over.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, independent booksellers were hugely instrumental in Shotgun Love Song's success. No doubt about it. Especially when you are a first-time novelist, nobody knows who you are. So you really need them to be hand selling your book to their customers, and because books are expensive, frankly, and for some people they might only if you're a real book person, you might lose track of this. But for most people in the world, buying one book in a year or buying 2 or 3 or 4 books in a year is a big, big deal, right? So taking a chance on a writer that you know nothing about is a risk. And I was super fortunate. My publisher at the time, St. Martin, sent me on what they called like a walking tour, where basically I would drive around the Midwest with my trunk full of advanced readers' copies of Shotgun Love Songs. I'd introduce myself, hopefully have time to go out for a beer or lunch with the bookseller. And they absolutely, made my career in a lot of ways.
Nice.
The book itself, Nicholas, do you prefer Nick or Nicholas?
Oh, Nick is fine. I put Nicholas on the book because that's what my mom named me, but everybody just calls me Nick. So
I have a question about the story. A comment first. You write women, this is a man talking, but you write women very well, in my opinion. Of course, that's a man's perspective of men. But do you get feedback from women on the women characters you write? And if you're doing them justice or no?
I get a lot of feedback from my wife.
Okay, that's a pretty important reader.
Yeah, for sure. My wife is an important early reader. I will hand her the draft, and she never says we've been together since we were kids, basically. So I'm never going to hear from my wife, wow, you wrote that female character well. Like, that's not, that's never going to happen. But she will say, well, a woman just wouldn't think that way about X or Y. And I'll say, okay, all right, fair enough. And well, what would be appropriate here? And then she'll sort of help me vector in on whatever. I don't really think that writing men or writing women is so very different. Like in the case of Beth in Shotgun Love Songs, Beth is a stay-at-home mom And my primary like professional title might be novelist, but I'm a stay-at-home dad. So there's a huge amount of my time that's committed to domestic sort of errands. I do, like, people ask me sometimes like, well, what is it like to be a novelist? And I'll tell them laundry. It's a huge amount of laundry. And I'm not joking. Like, we have 2 kids, like they produce a ton of laundry. It feels like sometimes that's all that I do, or all that I do is laundry punctuated by moments of driving them around the Chippewa Valley for various practices or whatever. And when you're doing that, you're thinking about the things that you could otherwise be doing, right? And I think that's what part of Beth's interior life is. Like, she has committed to living this life, but there are certainly alternate tracks where she could have lived a different life. And so I was sort of tapping into, my own life when I imagined her.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. There's so many lines of your book I love. There's some of them most simple. I read through them and I get past and go, wait a minute, that was freaking awesome. That was great. So I'm just a huge fan. I love just a simple line like this. She's talking about Wisconsin, Minnesota, Beth, and she says, and though the 2 states embrace each other along the Mississippi in St. Croix. I mean, the 2 states embracing each other, the visual is just, it's such it's perfect. I love that.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't think about embracing Minnesota very much when the Vikings are like 13-3 the way they were last year.
Yes.
But no, look, after Shotgun Love Song sold, before it was published, we could have moved anywhere in the world. We were living at that time in St. Paul, Minnesota, because my wife had a job at a law firm there. We could have moved anywhere in the world, and we considered it because it was a pretty terrible winter, right? One of those winters that makes you re-examine why exactly you are living in the upper Midwest. But both my parents live in Eau Claire. Both of Regina's parents live in Eau Claire. Many of my childhood friends are here, and I love living here. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I feel so lucky to live where I do, to be part of this community. So writing little throwaway lines like that, it's just part of my life. It's not an act. I love this part of the world.
Cool.
We used to call them our best kept secret, and I'm always fearful it's going to get out.
I know. I know. Trust me. When we first moved back to Eau Claire in 2013, I was a little defensive of it because I'd lived in Iowa City for a while, and many of my friends were from very I don't know, attractive urban centers in America. And I thought, God, and I am moving back to Eau Claire, and now I don't tell anyone about Eau Claire, really. Like, I don't want anybody else moving here, Stay away. It's terrible here.
There you go.
Well, yeah, you and a certain other person named Michael Perry like that area, and it just seems like it's been an incubator almost for writing and music and
definitely music. Wow.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and Mike is a good friend. He's way busier than I am. He's relentlessly out there, sort of touring, so we don't hang out as much as I'd like. But every now and again, I'll come over to the house for coffee and talk about the work of writing and the politics of writing and all that sort of stuff. And no, Eau Claire is a fun community to live in right now. Let me take that back. Eau Claire is a dismal, sad community to live in. There's nothing happening here.
Closed for business. Eau Claire.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. We had our writers group last night through our library here, and you talked about the business and life of writing, and that comes up quite a bit. We meet once a month, first Wednesday of the month. And I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't ask what your process is like, your day-to-day, where you're at now. I mean, do you shoot for like a page a day or a word count a day, or what do you see as a successful, thing? Or is it just whenever you can steal it, whenever you can get that time?
Yeah, I don't have a process, and part of that is informed by the fact that we have a 14-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl. So like
that would do it.
I don't know. I can shoot for a page a day or 2 pages a day, but I don't really worry about that. Like right now, when I'm done with this interview, I need to scramble to go get some groceries. And then I need to start preparing dinner because we're having dinner guests. I need to keep the laundry going. I need to run the vacuum. Like,
oh, you can fit some literary genius between this.
Yeah.
Come on,
today, nothing is going to happen. That is, I could lie to you. I could tell you that I'm going to a magical hut in the forest where I'm going to churn out 20 pages of solid gold American literature, but that'd be BS. So I just kind of let it ride, I mean, ultimately when I get to the end of my life, like the important thing to me is whether my kids have a good relationship with me, and if my wife is proud of me, and if I've been a good friend and brother and son. The writing thing is the next most important thing in my life, but it is the next most important thing. It's not the first most important thing. Yeah. So all just to say, I've never really had a process. I think about an idea and I think about an idea until I can't really handle it anymore. And I need to sit down at the computer. And at that point, the ideas are very well articulated inside my head. And it's just a matter of finding the time to sit down and get it out. But I don't, like, one of my least favorite things is sitting at the computer and not typing. I would way rather spend time walking, mowing the lawn, doing dishes, thinking about a plot and the characters. And then when I am absolutely ready, I sit down and I do the work. But
that's cool. Yeah.
I think that there's, like, especially in the upper Midwest, there's this sort of Protestant work ethic that we can lay over art, like, you got to write every day. You got to write a page a day. You got to write at least a page a day. Well, this is art. This isn't, I'm not building a barn, so I don't really worry about that.
It's clearly worked. You got 4 novels under your belt now. That's pretty amazing. And a short story collection. So yeah, whatever you're doing is clearly working out for you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, we have all of your titles at the library.
Thank you.
And all the copies of Shotgun have just been going out like crazy. So it's been really good. But I do have to say, Nicholas, there's I've had some older women come up to me who have read the book. Yeah. And one of their first comments is, did he have to use so much swearing in the book? So I want to ask you.
Did you say F yeah?
Yeah, that's right. So if you had to defend the 4-letter words in the book to your grandmother, for example, and say, so give me some ammunition to use when I have to defend to these older library patrons why there's profanity in the book. What should I tell them?
Well, first off, using my grandma as an example is you didn't know her. But
that's where you got it from.
She taught me everything I know about swearing.
Okay.
So, when I think about that book, I don't really remember a lot of swearing. I remember, it's been 10 years now or whatever, but I know there's some swearing. But I swear. I mean, are you saying you don't swear? Are we? Am I? I don't really understand. Like, I guess my most recent novel, Godspeed's about a crew of construction guys, and somebody said, God, there's a lot of swearing in there. And I was like, have you ever been around a construction crew?
Yeah.
If you hadn't, it would have seemed disingenuous.
I mean, what do you think those guys are? I mean, everything they say is punctuated by a F-bomb. In fact, I can't swear here, can I?
Oh, fire away.
Sure.
No, we love that.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So back in 2013, 2014, when we moved back to Eau Claire, we commenced building a house. And I was here on the job site every day watching him build the house. And there was a guy on the crew, I shit you not, who every single time I interacted with him, no matter what I asked him, he would say, fuck yeah. Like, Looks like you're making pretty good progress on the roof. Fuck yeah. Jesus, it's cold today, isn't it? Fuck yeah. Like, every single time. I didn't make that up. I didn't make him up as a character.
Right.
I
have no idea what you're supposed to tell these grandmothers. I
will just say that it's part of the vernacular. It's just part of the story. It's part of the character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If they don't like the book, they don't have to, they don't have to keep reading.
Just skip over those words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you should see what they're reading these steamy romance novels. So that's
right.
There's stuff in those too.
They can read Little Faith. I don't know that there's more than like 3 swear words in my novel Little Faith. It's a much different book and maybe more to their liking.
I do have a Sharpie upstairs. I can start redacting things.
There you go. No. We're not going to get into public libraries redacting anything.
No, you're absolutely right. That's actually being banned book season. A topic we're definitely on top of for sure. So there we go.
Yeah. But, do you have a favorite banned book?
Well, let me think about that. I don't even really follow what's. The whole notion of banned books, just so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so cosmically and intellectually stupid. I don't even know where to begin. The very premise of it offends me, just so deeply that I don't even really know what to say. I mean, I could say like Catcher in the Rye is a book that was important to me. Many of Sherman, I wrote my senior thesis on Sherman Alexie when I was at UW-Madison. I think like pretty much all his books have been banned. I don't know.
It's good for your career. I mean, they sell like hotcakes once you get banned.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's an awesome career move.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Rough stuff.
Nick, is there an author that you wish more people knew about, or you'd say you should read this person?
Well, I don't know if she needs any of my help, but one kind of contemporary of mine is Renee Denfeld. She's a Portland, Oregon-based writer. She writes very good kind of literary, I don't know if I'd say thriller, but they have a thrill. Each book has kind of a thriller element to it. She's wonderful. I think about my friend Chris Dombrowski, who's written 2 marvelous nonfiction books that have to do with fishing. I think about my friend John Larison out in Oregon, hell of a good writer. I mean, the longer that you're in writing, one thing that is wonderful for your ego in a very healthy way is you realize that there are so many good writers that people don't know of. And sometimes I'll be at a conference or something and you brush elbows with somebody who maybe operates in a genre that I don't read so very much, like fantasy or romance or whatever it is.
Sure.
And you realize that person has sold millions and millions of copies, and I've never heard of them. So I would send people to check out Renee Denfeld, I think.
Excellent. Cool.
Yeah, we're all going to look her up now.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good to know.
Well, we're coming up on 9 o'clock here, and I know you have a few things to do there, Nick. So that's cool. Anybody have any final comments or questions for Nick before we welcome him here to in person at the end of the month? But
yeah, I just want to say we're really looking forward to it. You'll have a lovely stay at the Washington House Inn that evening. It's a very, very nice place. So we're just, excited to have you to come to Cedarburg.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about it too. And I appreciate the invitation. As I said, it means a lot to me, especially after everything that happened with COVID. I'm happy about hitting the road again. And I'm grateful that people are still reading Shotgun Love Songs. So
awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. Excellent. Well, thanks everybody for joining us this morning. This will be available on demand, obviously, as our shows always are. And once again, Shotgun Love Songs, and get your entries in before, what is that, midnight Sunday? Yeah.
Can we use expletives in our entries?
Yes.
My
Are there-
Sharpie's ready.
Are the judges old ladies?
Yes.
Fuck yeah! Come on, Linda. Say it. Fuck yeah!
Oh, you're just tempting me, Jack.
Linda wants to change one word, and it ain't the F bomb. She wants to change. Now, F you is what she
Yeah.
said.
It's all up here.
Fun never ends here at the Jack Henke Show. Join us tonight. We'll be on the air tonight at 7 p.m. Thanks again to Nickolson Butler and everybody in this room. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We are beginning the day now. Nicholas, you've got some